Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I don't even know what to say about today's video. The story I'm about to tell you, straight out of a horror movie. Why do I share such horrific stories with you? Because I read them online and then they're in my head. So, if I have to deal with them being in my head, it's only fair that you should too. Misery does love company, you know. And I think you make excellent company, so, okay. Not gonna lie, this is gonna be a tough one for me to do. This absolutely horrific story, coming out of Guyton, Georgia, involves an evil stepmother who recently pled guilty to torturing her two stepchildren who were found buried in the backyard of their home in 2018. Now, Atlanta News says she pled guilty at a hearing held in Effingham County on or around October 30th of 2020 because the pandemic kept the court from moving forward with this case sooner. Apparently, she was indicted in 2019, but just recently entered her plea because she accepted a deal offered by the prosecution where she agreed to testify against three other suspects in the case in order to avoid the death penalty. Yes, you heard me right. Three other suspects. But that's not all. Let me unravel this for you. There are actually four suspects. Four other suspects who have been charged in this case, making a total of 5 people charged in the tortures and murders of two 14-year-old children. And wait until I tell you who the 5 people are. Ready? The children's biological father, their stepmother, their stepmother's brother, their step-grandmother, and their step-grandmother's boyfriend. Yes, the Manson family. The children's stepmother, Candace Crocker, pled guilty to the murders of her stepchildren, Mary Crocker and Elwyn Crocker Jr., in exchange for the opportunity to testify against their bio dad, Elwyn Crocker Sr., her brother, Mark Anthony Wright, and her mother, Kimberly Wright, who are all facing the death penalty. Candace reached the deal with prosecutors to testify against the three other suspects in exchange for life in prison. The fifth suspect, Roy Prater, the boyfriend of the children's step-grandmother, pled guilty to murder in February of 2019 and does not face the death penalty sentence. Now, let me tell you what these psychos did to these poor children. According to the indictment, between January 1st of 2018 and October 28th of 2018, Mary was allegedly zip-tied, starved, stripped naked, held in a dog crate, and beaten with different objects. The family also admitted to burning her with hot water and shocking her with a stun gun. She was held in the dog crate for so long, her limbs became crooked. So to straighten them back out, they duct taped her arms and legs to a ladder. Elwyn Crocker Sr., Candace Crocker, and Kimberly Wright allegedly beat Elwyn Jr., starved him, and held him in a dog crate from October 1st of 2016 through November 30th of 2016, according to the indictment. Each child was murdered at the age of 14. They were murdered 2 years apart. Elwyn went missing in 2016 and Mary went missing in 2018. The children were buried in the backyard of their home and their deaths were never reported. After Mary's murder, or when she went missing, according to her family, police were called to her home for a welfare check, and that was when the bodies of the children were discovered. Bio dad, the stepmother, and the step-grandmother are being charged with 13 counts. Malice murder, 2 counts. Felony murder, 2 counts. Aggravated sexual battery. Cruelty to children, 4 counts. False imprisonment, 2 counts. And concealing death, 2 counts. Mark Anthony Wright, Candace Crocker's brother, is being charged with 8 counts. Malice murder, felony murder, aggravated sexual battery, cruelty to children, 2 counts, concealing death, 2 counts, and false imprisonment. The grandmother's boyfriend is being charged with murder. I do not have any information on the bio mother of the children, other than she told news sources that she learned of her children's deaths in social media posts. Wow. What a way to learn that your children were tortured and killed, huh? Police say the children were homeschooled, and neighbors say they rarely ever saw them outside. Now, if all this isn't bad enough, apparently there was a third child belonging to the bio dad in the home who was from a different mother than Mary and Elwyn Jr. When that child's mother learned of the deaths of Mary and Elwyn, she said she panicked and immediately filed in court to take full custody of her child, who she claims has cerebral palsy and muscular dystrophy. So you know that child wasn't receiving any of the care he needed for his conditions. Thank God police found out what was happening in that home before the third child suffered the same fate. 5 people, 5 people all tortured and participated in the murders of 2 14-year-old children. How do you get 5 people to think abusing and torturing children until they die is okay? How do you get them all to agree to the abuse and keep it quiet for years? How in the hell did they live in that house with the children buried in their backyard? How do you get a grandmother, to participate in the abuse? And her boyfriend? Are you kidding me? What kind of psycho nutcases from hell were these people? I hope they suffer in prison the very same way they abused those poor children. They should have to serve their time in dog cages and then be duct taped to their prison bars to straighten out their limbs, while all the other prisoners get to line up and have their way with them. Disgusting, evil pieces of shit. You'd have to have no heart, no soul, and no conscience to be able to torture another human like that for your own sick pleasure. 5 of them. 5. And not one tried to stop it or even went to the police. Even their own biological father. The SOB helped. Their trials are scheduled to start in February of 2021, and I plan to be all over them, wishing, hoping, and praying that they rot in prison until the day they take their last breaths. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the time you spend with me on my channel, and I'll see you on my next video.